would say that I am your average millennial. I'm 26, 4 years out of college, working my second job, and if I'm being candid, I'm not sure of very much. Sure, I can rattle off my likes and dislikes on an online dating profile, but if you were to ask me what my life might look like in 5 years, I couldn't tell you. I am an expert on nothing, pretend like I know everything, and still feel like there is so much left to learn. I have many different interests, lots of things I'm passionate about, and tons of energy. Like many 20-somethings, I'm still just trying to figure out where I fit in. But being a millennial doesn't mean that I don't think big. There is one thing I'm sure about, and I think it's a sentiment I share with a lot of 20-somethings I know. We want to leave the world a better place than the way we found it. I know, it's a contradiction. How can we be the selfie generation and be selfless at the same time? As a generation, we embody this tension between how we act and what we think is possible. We're connected, in the know, and involved. We tweet about our feelings, we Instagram our food, we post articles on Facebook about our political leanings, and we encourage each other to do the same. We are constantly trying to add our own flavor, and we're encouraged to promote what we're doing at all times. We are the participation generation, and we grew up learning to contribute in one way or another. My contribution is to work as a fundraiser. Now, it's conventional wisdom that most people would rather do almost anything than ask other people for money. But to my mind, asking others to support worthy causes is extremely rewarding. I think generosity is the most fascinating trait of the human spirit. Where from inside of us does the desire to help others come? What compels us to give away our time and our money to other people or to organizations who affect people we may never actually meet? The study of generosity has always been a passion of mine, but over the past couple of years, I began to focus my interests on how the next generation, my generation, is changing philanthropy. During my first few months working at City Performing Arts Center, I received an assignment to revive a young professionals group that would hopefully engage my generation in giving to City Center's nonprofit mission. This group, called the Metropolitans, had roots in the 1980s, but over time it had floundered. Although some attempts had been made to revive the group, the Metropolitans' renaissance had thus been unsuccessful. Well, I had no idea what I was doing, so I started to do some research, and I uncovered a lot of really interesting information about how my peers think of giving back. Much of that research came from the Millennial Impact Report, which told us things like 75% of millennials are willing to endorse an organization over social media, and they consider that endorsement nearly as valuable as giving their money. 72% of millennials are interested in skills-based volunteer opportunities, and they also consider their time just as valuable as money. Peer influence is extremely powerful in getting millennials to volunteer with or give to an organization. Most millennials would rather spread small gifts across multiple organizations rather than give a big gift to just one institution. And in 2012, 80% of millennials that were polled by the Millennial Impact Report gave a financial contribution to a nonprofit, with more expected to give year over year after that. I found this to be extremely exciting, but it also helped me realize that we were going about the Metropolitans' revival in the wrong way. We were treating millennials the way we treat all other donors, so we weren't meeting them where they were at in this stage of their lives. That research led to a business plan for the Metropolitans, which led to the relaunch of the group in January 2013. The new iteration of the Metropolitans connects up-and-coming young Bostonians to City Center and to each other through creative programming, super fun social events, volunteer opportunities with our arts education programs, leadership experience, and fundraising initiatives. I'm happy to report that the group caught on like wildfire. We have 200 active members, we've raised over $40,000 for City Center, and we continue to grow and evolve all the time. That experience validated for me what I already suspected, which is that my generation truly cares about giving back and getting involved. Like City Center, other nonprofits are starting to think about how to engage young donors in their work, which is great. But there's no silver bullet. There's not going to be a perfect way to get millennials engaged in the work you're doing in the nonprofit sector, and nor should there be. Each organization is unique, and they should be thinking about what kind of young donor program is best for their culture. So let's back up for a second. We have willing millennial donors, and we have a multitude of nonprofits who want their contributions. The logical question then is, where do we go from here? I believe that now is the time to democratize philanthropy. We have this immense, unprecedented opportunity to take on the notion that being a philanthropist is a privilege or a title that belongs only to a small population of people who have earned or inherited their way to the top. We can turn that on its head now. Now, anyone can go online and read about the work an organization is doing, and they can give money right away. Donors can rally behind just about any cause you can think of, and plenty of causes that you can't think of, on sites like Indiegogo or Kickstarter. They can find a volunteer opportunity that fits their skill set on sites like Catch a Fire. They can join a group like the Metropolitans. Technology is the great equalizer, and in many ways the hard part of empowering anyone to be a philanthropist is already done. It's now up to us to encourage millennials to understand the impact they can make and how they can make it. And the best part is that millennials want to know. They ask questions, and even if they don't have the answers, they want to be part of the solution. We should be inspiring young donors to give now, and give what they can, and give what feels good to them, and make them feel like $20 is just as important as $20,000. If we create this dialogue now, we will see the difference for our nonprofit sector later. And if we do start now, when millennials reach the later stages of their careers and their lives, a much larger population of adults will have experienced years of what it means to be thorough, responsible, meaningful givers. They will understand on a deep level what any amount of money can do. So, millennials, listen up. Give now. Give what you can. Give what feels good to you. It is important, and no matter how much you give, it is enough. And don't think that giving only comes from donating your money. You can still start small and be creative and still be impactful. What if for every selfie you took, you turned around and did a selfless act of giving? What if for each meal you Instagrammed, you matched that with giving your unused groceries to a family in need? Imagine what kind of good is possible if we take what is already working and use that to amplify what we as millennials are already beginning to do. Maybe we don't know what tomorrow will bring or the next year, but we do know that we want to leave the world a better place than the way we found it. If even a fraction of the millennials I know were empowered to be philanthropists right now, I have no doubt that anything is possible. Thank you.